Hi, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. We are in the Bad Kitty Studio and Lounge.
Yes.
And Lounge. Bad Kitty Studio and Lounge. And I'm Jen.
I'm Amy.
And we're really excited to launch our podcast today. We are going to talk to you about who we are, how we met, why we're friends, what we're doing, and when you can expect to see episodes from us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. And this is Jen, and I talk a lot, and that's Amy.
I chime in.
And she
with
chimes
deep thoughts.
chimes in with deep thoughts. So, who we are. So, I'm Jen, and I am retired. I'm in my crone era, and I have a husband, I have kids, I have grandkids, and I have pets who are dogs. And I would love to tell you about my dogs. I have Lotus, who is a pit bull Staffordshire Terrier mix. She's a rescue that we got when she was 2, and she is currently 4. She's fantastic. She is smart, and all she cares about is catching the ball and finding food. And then Allie is a 9-pound Chihuahua Papillon mix, and she is just my spirit animal. I love her. She came to us when she was 5. She came to us from the mean streets of Arizona where she had suffered some a gunshot trauma. And so she hates loud noises. She is very judgmental of men and not very fond of cars, but she loves me. Also, she wants you to know that she is 35 years old. She's childless and single by choice, and she is not putting up with any of your shit. Okay. All right. So that's me. I'm Jen.
Hi, Jen.
Hi, Amy.
I'm Amy. I'm a mom, a wife. And really, I like to be out in the public, engaging and helping people and advocating for groups. My main advocacy is with LGBTQ people, a lot of the T in that. So you'll find me just out doing pride events and tabling at all sorts of stuff. And yeah, I have 3 dogs. And yeah, they're interesting. And then we usually have a guest dog like we do today.
Yes, lots of dogs at Amy's house. If you're a dog
Yes.
lover, this is the place to be.
And
For sure.
if you want to come back this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we'll have 5 dogs in our house. So that's a party.
That is a real draw.
Right.
I think I'm in. I mean, who wouldn't
Come
want to
by.
come to a house with 5 dogs?
Come by.
I'm in. I'm in. So the next thing we have on our list over there to talk to you about is how we met. So we met almost a year ago at the LGBTQ Rally Day at the Illinois State House, right?
Hmm. But we met online
True.
through different, I think it was the Highland group,
Mhm.
maybe. And then I said, anybody want to go to this advocacy day and, just go and cheer and run around and try to catch your Congress people who are never available. And then I was at the rally part and I looked to my left and I said, are you Jen?
I am Jen.
Yeah. It was weird, just like that.
And it's all history from there. But we did meet online, not through a dating app or anything. It was actually just online, randomly, organically through being in the same local community groups. And then, like many of you, we met doing activism work and standing up for the rights of people, which is the best way to meet friends and love interests, I would imagine. Just do the things you love to do, and then there you might meet the people you love to hang out with. And that's certainly the case.
I do agree completely with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And during this past almost year, May 8th is our actual friend anniversary. And we, throughout this year, we have done so many fun things. We have just jumped right in with both feet and said, "Hey, I'm in for this friendship."
Mhm.
And then we've been on a road trip together with our partners. We've been to New York with some friends,
Oh, that was
and
fun.
yeah, it was so much fun. Soon we're going to Nashville with some other friends, and we've just really leaned in to this friendship and also to our resistance. So we are committed to resisting, but the way that we're doing that is through joy and connection.
Yeah, we're just trying to find our own happiness in the world that's really struggling to find it.
That's right. So why we're friends is honestly that we met in a place doing something we both felt passionate about for reasons that turned out to be common. We both love people very much who are in the LGBTQ plus community. I am also in the community. I am bisexual, and it's just important to me to be around people who sort of walk the walk, not just talk the talk. And meeting Amy in the middle of a rally was just the perfect place for us to launch our friendship. Um, but I think that for me, the why we're friends is that you're just so much damn fun.
I tried to.
Yeah, I mean, you're just so much fun. And then, I mean, I know you haven't said it yet, but I am also
She's a blast.
I mean,
She's a blast, even though she sometimes gets worried and thinks I'm never going to speak to her again. I'm not tell her no. I am.
are you revealing my anxiety on
Yes.
episode one?
Sorry. But we're all about being ourselves.
We're just going to be ourselves, and it's going
So
to be awkward.
yeah, as much as you tried to tell me that, yeah, you won't want this, and I said, yes, I do.
I did. I did try to say,
Mhm.
"Are you sure this is what you want?"
Yes.
So, all right, I'll tell the damn story. So, um, I was going through a lot of therapy, um, and I was at the stage where I just sort of thought that I was never going to actually make friends again. And if any of you have been through your whole awakening journey with therapy after like trauma stuff, there's times when there's a part of the process where you just feel like you're never going to find your people, that you've lost so many people because of your awakening and you're never going to find your people. And I was kind of in that phase. I was trying to find my people and I'd had some false starts, like three false starts in like a very short period of time. What I mean by false starts is like friendships that I tried to nurture that ended up not working out so well. And I've got that rejection sensitivity stuff, and even though a lot of those things did heal through therapy, they're still there. I just have more skills to deal with them now, and so that rejection sensitivity, is still there. I just remind myself that no invitation is not rejection. It's just no invitation. Anyway, back to the point of the story, which is Amy reached out and said, "Hey, do you want to go to lunch and shopping?" And I was like, "So listen, I know you think you like me, but you probably aren't going to like me once we spend time one on one." And she's like, "I'll be there at 10 a.m. and I'll pick you up." And I'm like, "But seriously, you can back out." So then she picks me up, and I have to go through this whole thing that says, "I know you're a gatherer of people. And I love that about you because if you weren't gathering in these little ducklings, I wouldn't be sitting here in this car. But do not pity me. I do not want a pity friend." And so, anyway, like 4 times a day, I think, maybe a day, an hour, I tried to let Amy know that she could leave the friendship anytime she wanted to if it was important for her to do so. And so anyway, but that's it. The statute of limitations has expired. May 8th is the official date that the statute of limitations expires for her to be able to cash in the friendship.
Yeah, that's when the warranties.
Yeah.
expire.
So after May 8th, you're stuck with me. There's no return policy. So
I've got just a few more
you
days.
do. I think it's like just over a week. So I'm going to need your answer in writing. And then
I have a contract lined up.
if
so-
you decide not to be in the friendship, I'm going to need like detailed explanations of everything I did wrong so that I can, go fix me. Anyway, I'm not sure why we're friends after all that explanation, but the real reason is that we're very authentic people.
Yeah, and our personalities just get along so well.
Do we finish each other's
Sentences.
sandwiches, sentences?
Right. I do know it felt like a trap.
It was a trap. There was a right answer, and you did not choose it. But we are very authentic, and I think that that's what's so fun. We're also silly and goofy, and then we care very much about people.
Yeah, we do mutual aid together.
We do.
Do a little political stuff together.
Yep.
Did some protesting together.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We donate together. We show up to political rallies and learn together, and just always challenging ourselves to be. I mean, honestly, it's probably cliche, but to be the change we want to see in the world. And I only want to be around people who are authentically themselves and focused on, growth. But the real reason for this podcast, the real thing we want to do here, so moving on to what we're doing, is we just want to come and talk to you about how we're finding joy as resistance to what's happening in our country and in the world. Our own our own little corner of the world. And we have this really great studio. Amy's last kid left the nest. And she quickly, you know how we mamas are when the last one leaves the nest, we like quickly turn over, especially, when it happens the first time.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we might.
I don't know if they heard that. Sometimes after your last kid leaves the nest, they come back. So anyway, go ahead.
They do.
I could tell that.
So yeah, when Jake moved out, we dropped his stuff off at his house. He ran back, painted 2 rooms because Jacob and Nikki had rooms, and then that became a guest room and a lounge overnight. And so David moved out. I gave it a few minutes because I didn't know what I was doing with this space, but we had so much fun on our cruise, which we forgot.
Well, we haven't forgotten it. We just haven't talked. Oh, I guess we did
We
forget
did
to
forget
say
to mention.
we took a freaking cruise already. We have not
That's
quite hit our
amazing.
1 year anniversary, and we took a freaking cruise. In fact, you invited us early on, and I jumped on that like immediately.
Yeah, that was like May of last year. Well, I met you in May, so let's say June.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, I think by June I said yes, I want to go on this cruise, and then we went on.
We were in for the long haul. Anyway, so I fell in love with karaoke at that particular
Well, then I have to tell the
thing.
story. I mean,
Okay.
all right. So here's the story.
Mhm.
We go on this cruise, and man, oh man, we're going to talk in detail about the cruise in a future episode, and that's
Okay.
going to be a freaking blast.
I
But
love it.
we went on a cruise, and on this particular cruise line, which we'll talk about in a future episode, they had karaoke rooms. So you could rent a room, not a bar. You don't have to sing in front of people. You can go into a little studio with just you and the people you bring, or by yourself.
We just happened upon that because we were going to go to the bar and karaoke.
We were going to go to
And
the
then
bar and
that was a
karaoke.
no.
But that was really a no, because I mean,
I'm not doing that.
maybe when I was younger, I was like, hit me with your best shot. But now I'm like, don't even look at me. I mean, not only do I not want you to hit me with your best shot, I don't want you to look my way. So we were in the studio, and it was the two of us and Brian, my husband Brian, and he was our cameraman. And I started singing because Amy said,
Oh, I'm only going to do the background.
Amy was going to be the background singer. And so we're sitting on a couch, like think of a producer's couch.
Yeah.
Like the producer.
Loungy.
Yeah.
Very
Yep.
loungy.
It was a very loungeable couch.
Mhm.
Brian, in fact, was like in full lounge position, and Amy and I were sitting on a couch. I'm not sure why this is important, but anyway, I start singing.
Well, it sets the scene.
Oh, there we go. That's the scene. So I start singing, and I'm just like, belting it out because that's how I live. So I start singing, and I look to my right, and the next thing I know, Amy jumps up, and she's all,
I will survive. Hey, hey.
that's right. There was no more background.
I
Amy was full on.
I
front and center.
levitated.
She did. She levitated off the couch. Yes. And therefore, you built a
karaoke lounge. And it's called Bad Kitty Karaoke Lounge. But we also call it Bad Kitty Studio.
Yeah, it's really a multi-purpose space.
We turned this part into the studio. We have a gorgeous couch over there. Someday we'll take you on a tour.
Yes.
It's a delight. It's brought me such joy.
You have been a delight to watch through this process, just seeing you find pieces and bring them into your space. And so, yes, we will take you on a tour of this huge lounge. You're not going to believe it's just,
God.
I mean, I can hardly see the wall from here.
I know. We can pack it all in here.
I could just take you to each area within the studio so that you know.
And on the other side of this wall is a fridge, a tiny little bar fridge. So it's kind of like a bar, but it's not in here because I didn't want it aesthetically to be.
It just doesn't go. It doesn't fit the aesthetic. But we are going to come to you regularly with podcast episodes about what we're doing to find joy as resistance, because we learned from people during the AIDS epidemic that they went to funerals in the morning, they protested in the afternoon, and then they danced at night.
Oh, really?
And it was the dancing that kept them going. And so they had to bury their loved ones because of the AIDS epidemic. And then they would protest for their rights, and then they would dance. And so we are standing in the trenches with the people who are the most affected, handing out diapers and supplies to families. And so, that's how we are attending to the people who are most affected by this. And then we are protesting, we're donating, and we're protesting. And then finally, we're finding joy. We're finding friendship, and we're seeing it all around us. We've heard from our friends in Staunton, Meredith and Chelsea. That's how they met, was through the resistance. The one thing that I will say for sure is I'm so grateful to being alive in this time because of how clearly you can see someone for what they believe in is who they are, and you can just decide, like, does that work for you or not?
Right. Because you don't have to.
Nope.
You don't have to take it and accept it. You can just be like, that's not going to work.
Yeah, that just doesn't work for me. So,
Mhm.
and that's taken me a long time to learn that. And it's something that you do pretty well. And so
Yeah.
it's been great to just learn from each other.
Yeah. When it's not working, it's just there's no just waiting around.
Yeah.
It's not gonna get better.
Right.
So
Right. So that's why we're doing this podcast. We're going to talk to you about how we're doing those three things and following in the footsteps of people who have struggled before us. And so we'll continue to tend to the people in the morning, so to speak, and protests in the afternoon, so to speak, and then we're going to dance all night. And so
even if I don't dance.
even if you don't dance, but I do remember you dancing on the cruise.
I
And
On the cruise,
did
I wiggled it
you wiggled it just a little bit?
You did the dancing, but I was behind you just
Yeah, I really like to dance. In fact, I've been embarrassed about this, but I've decided to accept it. Usually, when I dance, someone somewhere will say, "You don't get out much, do you?"
oh.
Or "Looks like you're not having any fun." And I've come to terms with the fact that I just really get into it, and for some people, that requires commentary.
It does not. We were having a great time. I
Yep.
was so proud of it. This was at the dance event recently,
Mhm.
and I threw down for the belly
You
dance.
did.
I took off for the line dancing because for me to learn line dancing, I could kill somebody out there.
You could take out a whole
Yeah,
row.
so I'm not going to do that. I'm not putting you at risk there. And then I showed up for a minute at the last one, which was Indian. I
Yeah.
think I did a little bit of
Bollywood.
that until I didn't.
Yeah, that was a blast.
But, Jen will teach you to dance. She's a very proven effective way.
I'm completely self-trained. So, like, don't get any ideas. My signature move, in case you wanted to know,
Yeah,
is called the discount double check. And I'll tell the story. So I went out with Brian to the landing in St. Louis, and it used to be a happening place. It isn't happening anymore. But this was at a time when we had a football team in St. Louis. That did used to exist twice, actually. The second time we had a football team, the Green Bay Packers were playing the Rams in St. Louis, and my husband and I went downtown St. Louis just to hang out on the landing. There were a bunch of Packers fans in downtown St. Louis, and we were at a bar. And so I just start dancing. My husband doesn't really dance, and so I'm dancing for myself because who gives a shit? And I'm doing my discount double check, which is like discount double check. And there was a woman next to
I
me,
saw that move.
and she's dancing, and I was like, "Oh, that's what your quarterback does. Look, discount double check." Anyway, she looked at me and didn't think it was very funny, but I have been dining out on that story for years.
And then you have a method when you're teaching someone.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're someone who says, "I have no idea how to dance. I don't know the first thing about dancing," all you got to do is step on ants. And then I teach you how to step on ants. And then once you get comfortable stepping on ants, you can step on ants a little further out to the side, and then maybe that side. And then you add in a little hand or hip, either one, and then you're dancing.
Yeah, you really did try.
Yep.
With me.
Yeah, I really did try. I'm losing my headphones here. They're falling off. So as you can see, this is going to be a loose format.
But we'll always have the cats.
The cats will always be here unless we're on location, which could happen.
Oh.
You never know.
Yeah.
I doubt it, but you never know.
I ordered cat mugs too.
Oh, we have cat mugs coming.
So much fun. We can talk about anything. Jen's a great talker. I'm a great responder. So
Oh,
we've got this.
we're a laugh a minute.
Mhm.
You people don't realize how
don't know
fortunate you
what's
are that
coming.
we're not going to charge you for this. I mean, technically speaking, we could substack you to death. $6 here, $60 there. I mean, what's the difference? It's only a cup of coffee or
No,
two
no, we're doing this all for free.
for free. You're lucky. You are really fortunate. So count your lucky stars, everyone. This is the Bad Kitty Studio podcast, and we are really excited to kick it off. I'm
We
Jen.
are. I'm still Amy.
Yeah, you're still Amy.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, thank you for listening to the Bad Kitty Studio podcast. We have a couple of concepts for segments. So things you can look forward to will be a couple of fun segments.
The aunties.
The aunties.
Mm.
So we've met some
Good
fun
one.
friends who kind of told us that we're like their aunties. And
Mhm.
so, we're going to have a segment called Ask the Aunties.
Yeah.
Whenever I say aunties, I feel so pretentious
Mhm.
because it's not how it was said when I was a child, but ask the aunties.
No, aunties is better.
Ask the aunties. Okay. So we're going to take your questions, not live or anything because we never know when we're recording, but we'll ask you in advance and then we'll get your questions and we'll answer them right here on the air.
And then happy and chappy.
Happy and chappy. We're going to say, "Hey, Amy, you got something that you're happy about or something that's chapping your ass? Are you happy or chappy? And then we're going to go off. And then maybe someday we'll open it up to all of you and you can call in and tell us whether you're happy or chappy.
Right. Yeah, leave it on the voicemail
Leave it
'cause
on
we're not
voicemail
live.
because we're not going to be live. We don't
This
ever know when we're going to be doing.
this isn't Frasier.
No, absolutely not. This isn't a call-in show, people. We're just going to be
Yeah.
Amy and Jen, and it's the Bad Kitty Studio podcast.
That's it. Yay! We got one done.